want to see what the game plan is, honestly, for both halves. You got Giants on defense, you got K-Corp on attack. The reason this comp's good on attack is because you have the Gravnet to take space, and then you have, once you're over and taken over towards space, let's say it's short, let's say it's showers, then you have the exec potential as well, in terms of smokes down, vines on the floor so you can't fast flood in, and then you have a wall as well for the afterplant. And then when they do finally get in, you got the traps, and we have the Vice Flash, and maybe even a wall if you wanted to save it. So, it's a strong comp. The Sentinels really have good impact. Someone shoot that, guys. Surely we shoot that.
But we won't get to see him in this round. Already dropped as the first
You
body
can see
hits
that.
the floor. KC
Still, nice pick though.
scrambling for answers. They can run into this stack. They don't know
Giants
where
going
the
for a
big stack.
classic
They're hoping
4-1.
that
For
Martin
Paper
can
X
find
watchers,
some
you'll be used to
space
this. This is
onto
all they do on
Clyde.
pistols these days.
Ready, nade to try and delay, flash to
Damn,
try and
dudes,
support.
that is
The
impressive.
hostiles go the way of the attack. Still a couple of defenders around this part of the map, and in fact the third even starting that rotation. But there's still time. KC can look to go back with presence still.
Is this the
held on other
best
side.
Vice Deadlock comp I've seen so far? Honestly, I don't mind any of them. They all seem pretty good. I don't even know what I prefer at the moment. The Fade Raise one's pretty cool. I think I prefer the Raise than the Yoru, but
right by the angle. Into the lamps where Martin is creeping his way. He's got the timing.
Hello?
And it looks like he'll connect the shot. A site wide open for the plant. And a 4v2 now with 10 seconds left. GX, they won't be able to deny this plant. They've got to put all their eggs in the basket of the retake.
Westside was great on his debut. Will it be enough for him to find anything in the late stages of this round? Still a player that needs to be cleared and spotted and will be forced back.
Poor
That's
Martin,
one at
man.
least. So the remaining
Getting,
players already
getting owned
sat in
here.
their after plant positions. Aves looking to brawl and will meet the same fate as his teammates just moments ago. Even still, though, that clock
yeah, we still got
is
Astra Sack.
continuously ticking. The grab will pull them even further out on the time. And well, for Westside, he almost has to try and just stick this the entirety of the way. He's still going to land one of the penultimate shots. He's doing an incredible job, but that time is just too far gone. At this stage.
That is unlucky. That was a very nice try.
A really nice attempt.
Yeah, it
honestly.
was a really nice try.
1v3, but wasn't enough in the end.
You got to commend GX. They had a good early plan. They caught the player just there. You saw it, Sadek, who was initially taking that space, but after losing so many bodies here on B, Cloud had left the A site, went to the spawn to rotate in to help on what seemed to be an inevitable push. And by the time he gets back in, he ends up ships in the night past the lurker on that side of the map. Looked like it was
1-0
gonna
for
be
the
a GX
pistols.
round, Tom. We had a lot of KC players gearing up for that B push into a heavy stack that had initiating utility as well, but that doesn't work out. 1-0 start for KC, and GX come into this with a
Oh my
full
goodness.
eco. Still some ideas using that Viper
Yeah,
wall
we,
we saw on
oh,
the
I like
pistol
that from
to get
Martin.
aggressive, try to
Especially
isolate
as
some
he's
players
like one of
behind
the
it.
solo
No one's there,
guns.
and the one guy that was got a kill and TP'd out.
It's
so
it's
very
a good
nice
sign he doesn't
reset for KC.
stick around
Come
for
in
this
with
one.
good pistols.
I think
Wall
something's
goes
going
across
forward
if they
in this
take
match
the
is just how
TP.
tough
Then what
it
do you
can
do?
be
Because you've
up
got an
against
Astra,
the
so you can't
Carmine
smoke
core
this.
Takes and after plant. So when you talk about what is on board for the likes of Vice,
I mean, as soon as this wall
Deadlock,
goes down,
both
this
in
feels a little
taking
bit
the
weird.
site, making things awkward in the battles, and then also the post plant, and then with these more aggressive agents in combination,
Oh.
there's a lot of opportunities.
Want me
For
to
them,
handle
and
it?
not a lot of places you can really
Nice shot.
survive. So I think that's gonna be my focal point for
Kazafaniel,
GX
thank you so
is
much for the tier
how
1,
are
dude.
they
Thank
gonna
you for
deal
that.
with that? In some of the early rounds, it's been
Thank
aggression.
you very
Now,
much for the
they
tier
have
1.
an okay comp for that. Like, you've got the two controller players that can slow things down and place walls and stars in order for setup, and then you have that double initiator, which you can get Purpo into position. What I will say is Purpo didn't have the greatest performance in the last map, and well, you might be wondering why I've just talked over an entire round, but an in-zone flawless, nothing really happened.
Exactly. I mean, this is just a housekeeping round where if kills come in for the side
Sleep
of GX,
after China? No,
that's
we
when
went
you
gym.
start paying attention, but even then, one or two.
We'll sleep
and
after
not just
Americas.
the rifles they've dropped being picked up by the players who didn't invest. This was a well thought out round from KC and an even better
Yeah,
executed one. As they now
Segetsu
come in,
keeping the
plenty
outlaw.
even
We've
some
got
of
2
the
people
players
that can get
giving up
one
for their light
shot.
shields. There's going to be lots of credits for the side of KC and for GX. Sure, they're investing. This is their full buy, but as you can see, the attackers still have credits. and they're pretty much matching up pound for pound in
Dude,
any fight they
we're
take.
out here
Not a bad bonus, if you wanna
saving.
call it that.
So the pressure of the deadlock anyway makes you fear playing in this and this pause, and kind of like these pauses as well. And honestly, here, so a lot of the time, just because of what it does, this is interesting as well. Especially because of what it does, you can have game plans where like you don't want to play in these areas. I like this, by the way, but I also like the fact that Sadak faked putting his
Yeah, it does look like
sonic
the
sensor
idea
down
could be for
to
KC, at least they
potentially
left the
prevent
door
them
open
from
and
wanting
moved
to
back
do
to
this.
A, in the end of the round.
Yeah, so
But
they
for
know that they
GX,
recleared over
clearing out
towards
this
long.
control is so important. Be able to
Okay, that's
initiate a
good.
couple more fights, burn utility, and telegraph the play.
They did a little bit of pressure over towards showers. Now the freeze coming over towards here as the call gets made. And speaking of showers, Prowler in to clear showers doesn't connect with anyone, so Raze is going to be here, so they're going to have 3 people on the site. Hold. What is Yori doing?
Maybe even sell a fake this time.
Gonna sell a fake with 30 seconds? Let's see if the Raze moves. Well, that wingman's done a lot here, and he's just a turret stuck in the open.
Well, 15 seconds.
The net very much trapped him, but plenty more players. Purpo's teammates ready with 8 seconds on the clock. Running it down is all they need to do.
Yeah, no time to plant on this one. As long as they both don't rush into the site, they're all good. I like the idea from Giants. This was cool. That, right, we got to like the 40-second mark. We had info, and then we had info. So even though they were trying to fake over towards short, as soon as that wingman spots them on long, they just stick the 3 here.
A lot of the execution power of KC can be quite problematic to face off against, but they are being proactive. They're taking
Melons? Yeah, it was a little bit melons, yeah.
looking to try and reclaim some of the ground.
It's just their original plan got messed up.
And it means that a lot of the setup is becoming
And then
quite
all
a
that
bit more
happened was they got
difficult
the
because KC don't have
info.
all the pieces
So there
in
were
play
people over
like they
towards
would have done
long
previously.
when there were 3 people on site, so then they could just delay the wall.
A little bit of a pause as we get into the early stages of the game. Now, just taking a look, though, at where we've ended up. Last time we saw KC playing, I think it was coming into round 3. They already had Sadix
Tech pause?
Annihilation
Yeah,
online.
tech pause, not tech
Coming into
pause.
round 6, I think they had it, or maybe it was round 7. Very early on, farming up orbs. He wasn't getting a crazy amount
Would you
of
say
kills
that
or
Tens
to
and
make that
Sen
work.
had the best Yoru on bind?
Grabbing orbs, grabbing plants.
What's
Now,
their competition?
he might not have farmed up his ultimate.
Paper X,
You'll
but
see
that
it
got a little bit
when we get back into
outdated.
the game, but a few
G2 that didn't
others
look.
have.
G2
despite
looked
coming
alright.
into the last round with
Heretics had an
rifles and a
okay
good
one.
chance to battle, that's
Yeah,
their
I think
economic
that's fair.
advantage.
I
KC
think
also have an
Tens
ulti
and
economy
Sentinels had like the
advantage
most
that
fault
they
doing
lose
it.
one round and they can fight right back in. Gecko and Astra ults primed and ready.
It was
to
kind of
go.
nuts the fact
It's
that
gonna
he
take a
could
bit
just
of
do the
work for
same thing
GX
over
to
towards
level that
showers
playing
and
field.
still
Maybe a battle for
take
early
showers
orbs.
on his
You
own.
could see some of that defensive
Even though he would do
aggression
the
from
same
Sentinel
thing
there.
over and over
Plenty of
again.
opportunities to deny. We've
This
seen
kind of
that
just shows
Viper
how
wall
strong it was.
go down again and again, blocking out outside of a bath and the teleporter over on B. This is going to give them that little bit of extra space that
Do I
they
get
can
bored watching
deny
all day?
when the push comes in
Not
on
at the
B.
moment.
But
It's
also,
pretty fun
we'll
when
see
it's
more of
new
those
comps and
teleport
stuff.
plays as the game goes on, trying to pincer
Maybe
those
during
players who
split
push
1,
past the Viper
there might be
wall.
some boring
I'm
maps.
excited to see what GX have
But
primed
honestly,
and
with
ready
Abyss
for us, 'cause
going
it's
out,
gonna have to be a
it'll probably only be
well-thought-out plan.
Icebox,
What
and we'll
we've
have
seen
some new
KC on
comps
this
on
map
Icebox,
has
so
not looked anywhere close to
could be
weak.
pretty fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the score lines that they've had versus Na'Vi with, what was it, like 13-3, 13-2? Yeah, 13-2. It was utterly dominant, and then a 13-9 versus the Vitality super team.
What
They
if
look
every
very
game
strong
of the
in this
day
map.
was
Going
Haven?
forward
I mean,
into
yeah,
the
I'd
series,
be
I think that's
I'd
where
be pretty
things maybe
angry during the whole
open
day,
up
I would
a little
imagine.
bit more,
The Haven will
although
look better
I
next
believe
time,
it was
though.
Lotus didn't look fantastic when we saw it played last versus BBO. It was a 9 to 13.
Tamazi's pretty good.
39
He
BBO
never
so
gets used in
I will
his
wait and
actual
see, but I
role
guess
that
if GX are taking
kind of
us
came
to
up
that
from
map,
tier
it's
2
clearly
into.
something that they do
I feel like he
still
sometimes
feel
still has a
comfortable
lot
on.
to learn
And
with
I
how he
also
plays.
just want to talk about some of the individuals on their side, because I think one of the great storylines going into this matchup, obviously, for starters, you're talking about teams that will be out. Like, that's it. Even though it will be in different ways, because KC did technically win a game and then still go into the lower bracket, whereas GX
I think we
have
see a
been
Reyna pick.
waiting all along.
This
There
whole
is a
year,
chance for
I mean, someone
Demazi
will pick Reyna
to
just
come
because
back
Paper
against
X
a team
exists,
that
but
dropped him
I
going
don't
into
think
this
you'll see
year
much of
and
it.
eliminate them in last
He's just a
place
ranked agent
after
really
they've
these days.
rebuilt a team surrounded by
The most
pretty
likelihood
big
is we'll
names.
see
Talking
it
about Sadak
on
for starters, I think that's an
Icebox,
obvious one. Elite
or
looked
you
very
might
good
see it
last
when
year in
Ascent
BBL.
comes back for Paper
Sugetsu
X,
has been a
because they seem to love it on
mainstay
that map.
VCT for the last couple of years, even with a trophy under his belt. these players going out in dead last.
Aiming for 1 AM, EMEA here, probably.
But the same can be said.
Started
maybe
good.
Not so much last year, but prior to that,
I'm sure we'll miss the whole of the first Americas game as well.
To fight for champs at times, so that's what they're looking to get back to in this sort of run. Last is not good enough for either of them.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, you look at the teams, the caliber of teams sort of coming
Lack
into
of
this,
ISO.
we had some ideas of
I mean, Fnatic will play it on Haven.
We had some guesses to throw out, but the level has been close across the board.
ISO is in a good spot.
These two teams down
The thing is, there's so many agents in a good spot. It's like what you pick these days. Even Phoenix is pretty good.
A much different kickoff than a much different event than I think what we're used to seeing here in EMEA, and I think it could be wrong on this.
Watch Chamber, yeah, dude, that's true. They might actually have a Chamber.
The level of the teams is clearly
Lexi, my phone's not here.
There is no easy matchup anymore.
It's alright, there's never any misquotes on the internet anyway, so.
It's very true.
Is it something you can say in chat or not?
I think it was his post-game tweet.
Even if it's not, it will be now. We'll just claim that was supposed to the quote. Sue's probably sat there just raging. I didn't say that, but we'll see. Nonetheless, obviously we are in ourselves a little bit of a tech pause, just waiting to get things back underway.
Do you think it's bad for the competitive side of Valorant to have so many changes on maps? I mean, bad for the teams, great for us watching.
Obviously make it to Masters where they have a chance to battle for even more.
Possible to restart the YouTube stream when you're switching to Americas. Yes, I can do that.
You're kind of just in a spot where, well, it's, I guess, just as bad as going out in last place, but you kind of
Mango Freeze, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate the 5.
Because, again, like you look at
thank you very much. 308 altogether from Mango. I appreciate it.
Run out in the VCT. You're talking about the likes of Cloud, who's been here a while. Westside is the only new player coming in this year. And
how can you wanna stop the YouTube stream, Sheriff? Just for
I think that again, them not
description and VODs and thumbnails and stuff.
That would be a problem for them.
Well, Tom, during this tech pause, luckily, we've had a little bit of a sit-down earlier on with Ang, who gave us
who would I rather take on my team, Martin or Tamazi?
Martin. For you folks at home. So, I believe we have to guess what Ang's top 5. He's put this together, but what's the context of this top 5? Why has he assembled this? What were the characteristics he was looking to obtain, Tom?
Oh, so we're doing this.
We are doing this.
I thought that this was being okay.
I assume he will explain or will have an explanation
Rexit, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate the bits.
We asked Ang to put together a tier list of some criteria. And these are the players
Chef
that
sounds good to me.
For you at home as well, start activating your brains. I'm trying to think.
Top 5 best smiles.
Best smiles, you reckon?
I think so.
It could be a left field play like that.
I think that's a solid
Top 5 potential
coaches on KC.
KC.
That's what he went for. Ang's top 5 potential coaches on KC. Aves, Sagetsu, here. Okay. Anyone you would have put in there, Tom?
I find it really interesting that he's basically just named his own team.
But
and
why
Hero.
is...
Yeah. Future roster moves,
Who did he not put in? Was it Elite?
Why is
was Elite
Hero
the only
there?
person from his team? Because that's the thing. That's my bigger takeaway. Is he named
Martin.
his own
Hero is a
team
coach, the
and
team
then
in
put
Hiko? Yeah, I
Select
think he
Squad.
nailed it. I think that's
So
actually what it
he named
was.
his whole team except
Obviously,
that's
it was
toxic.
Hiko.
Like, I would say that's
But to be fair,
very toxic.
Hiko makes just as much sense as Hero.
Yeah,
Can we
To
just
be honest with you.
Just show Elite. Like,
What do you make of this, mate?
that's wild.
Well, at least
I'd be worried about being benched after that. It's like, right, so you really think everyone...
maybe, Mayo. He's such a good player that you wouldn't waste him on the coach spot. Oh, but that's bad for the other guys, actually.
Okay, finally we're back, and we got Insta Astral into Sender. We're going to official on this one. Giants can just hold strong over towards Showers. And holy... Fades Teva into smoke damage into Molly. Gets a kill.
That's for sure. Down
They fully just got shut down on this.
Looking towards the B site, couple players have snuck up, but that pesky Viper wall again causing problems. In fact, it's keeping Runner alive.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do this Astral, you've at least got official and just double down.
Might not know just how much damage
Would have been worth. You got 1, 2, 3 people that can get a reset on this one. And if you lose, you got Eco.
To hold it, 160 HP between them. This could be an easy roll. for the flood of KC players coming in.
Thrash through.
Well, they're stuck on
This
site.
is where all the corners become a tough spot to stand in.
They
Well,
do
they're
their
saying that
fawns
Rabbit
deeper
did well,
than
at least
everyone
for the
else,
initial
but
moments to clear. Is now
like
on
where do you
Sublime,
sit on
though.
site?
This is
It's
what's
nice.
so
Lock them in
difficult
for the
about
fish ult to
holding
hit
onto
them.
this B site, is you can basically clear everything with the combination of
Yeah,
Astra
now they got to break
and
the wall,
Vice.
and then they got to go in and they got to deal with double
Now for
sonic
the remainder,
sensor.
they're having to try and break back in, all from a similar angle versus this hold.
The fact that Thrash caught the full HP player as well and now is back
Yeah, dude, you could
online,
play time on
causing
this.
more problems, sending GX back towards the spawn.
Yeah, and
now
you
the
just gotta
time
save.
ran
Okay, this was
way
nice,
too
dude.
low. There's no choice
The original
but to
plan
back
got
out.
really,
And even
really
then,
owned, but the
just take a
backup
look
plan
at
was
what we
good.
can
And that
see.
site
Of
hit is
course,
so scary.
GX not quite privy to this information, but based on a quick
Feels
take, they
impossible.
could
I'm
assume
telling you, this comp just feels so hard to play against.
So you're battling up against the
I
stuns on your way.
honestly don't
You've got
even
4
know. I think it
players,
feels
and who
harder
knows
to play
from
against when you're on
GX's
attack as
perspective how
well.
much utility
It's just so
still
hard to go
waiting in
default,
Arcros as
find
well
this
to
wall,
blind after they trigger.
and then
would
this
have been a
wall's getting
disaster,
placed at
and it
one
would have
point
been
as well.
weapons left on the floor that GX wouldn't have in the future. It was the right call.
That's the thing. I think even just naming the amount of utility that they put into that take is difficult on its own. But one of my favorite sort of pieces is you have the ult to clear them back. You have the close
Jump
clear
with
by
Yampy
the
being
get-go
really good at
volley.
IGLing, would I run
Then
it back
you
with my
have the
old
razor
roster?
vines
Yampy
put to the
IGL?
back
I mean, I always
alongside
kind of
the
wanted
smoke.
Yampy
So if
IGL.
anybody like, oh,
Things
they're
just didn't
rushing the
go
site, run
right.
into support. I'm just going to slowly walk in.
I
and
would
take a crap
happily
load of
play
damage
with
while I
Yampy
do
on
it.
my
Like,
team
there's just
again.
no way to actually get back into
I
the site
really
to
get on with
support
Yampy. I
teammates.
think it's great.
And it also works if you're trying to leave because they put the Thrash through. So you're trying to run away from it, you can't.
Well, this has been at least not as bad of an ending to it that round. As
Yeah,
it
they
could
kind of
have
forced
been.
buy into this
GX
one.
still
Giants with
walking
the
out
save
with
guns.
weapons. They weren't hunted down. They have a stinger on Runner. Runner's playing a close angle, and most of his job is just to pop that flash for Purpo over on B long. You can see it here.
How do you feel about one trick
So that
in
weak
Vice and
weapon
ranked?
won't
Yeah, it's
really
probably
be
very strong.
challenging on range, unless they do commit to the angle. And hopefully the utility will bridge the gap. We can see, though, KC are geared up for an A hit. All 5 players outside of it. Vice wall left behind.
Yeah, wall gets committed behind, so we're going to be sending this, and as we can see, we got 2 people, so once again they picked the right site.
Left on the clock. No ultis to entry. Martine 1 away. But
Oh
still
boy,
so much utility.
how many did that hit?
GX may again be forced to take a step back out
Double
of that initial
TP?
action.
I mean, the call for them would just be to TP after you hear a double TP.
Yeah, they all got hit by the hole.
Yeah, they literally all got hit. They mistimed it.
Piece of utility that gets that much info,
But we
but
see
they're
that a
all
lot
standing
on
around,
LAN,
but
and I
maybe
wonder
just
if it's
a
just
bit of
like the ping
hesitation.
difference.
The thing is,
We spoke
has
about it at the
kind of
beginning when like
sold
Fate started
Aurelius.
getting
I'd
used
be
again. The
intrigued
amount
to know if that was
of the amount of
intentional,
times
because now you look at where
where
Tomasi
people
is
miss
completely overwhelmed,
miss
but
shot
they give
the
up
timing of the
site
fade
because of
eye
what
is
happened
crazy.
last round. Looking to try and play that
And I
retake,
want to
but
say it's a
you feel
ping
like
thing, but I
Tomasi
don't
has to
100%
get
know.
something, and he won't.
I mean, this is all
Yeah, and
coming
we've got the
back
fawns
of
to
this
stop them
double
flooding
teleport
into sight. It's
play
going to be a
was
very hard
perfect,
retake
and
on
the
this one.
reaction was perfect.
They know that
Clearly
one's
B is
pushing
gonna be
behind
weaker
because of
with
the
that many
wall.
players on the
I'm
other
not
side of the
sure.
map.
K-Cop needs to go this
They walk
aggro over
right in,
towards
doors
elbow. Hopefully they
open.
just chill.
The one player that was defending fades away at GX. It's a very unusual situation, such undamaged retake that we're about to see come through.
Yeah,
So much
but this
utility
sonic
still in
sensor is
play.
going to hit
Bombarded
two
by
of them
GX,
running
they
out.
run into that sonic sensor first time. That's really caused a problem
Yeah,
for
look
them,
at
and
it. Like,
look
how are you
big a
actually meant to
problem it
retake
is
this?
in the seconds it takes for that stun to fade away. The reset
Nice
is
shot.
there. Plenty of players ready to duel. Runner gets one even with the low
No time,
economy
but
that he had invested, but
still a good
Aves
try,
cleans
though.
it up anyways.
Give them that. It's a good
I
try.
did not think it was going to be that close. I'll give them the credit that they certainly did a good job of fighting their way back through all of that utility, through the numbers from KC. But
How would you try to beat this Deadlock Vice comp? Yeah, I'm just mirroring it. I'm just borrowing the comp for sure. You gotta just steal this stuff. It's too good. I would try it on other maps as well.
Almost like a consolation prize from almost this point onwards. Like you're looking
Very,
at
very strong.
how long is left on that clock. That even if he'd got that final kill, I think it would have been incredibly close. It's going to be a pause taken from GX, and I don't mind it because this is really the tough thing about playing against
Blind
this
comp go from
competition.
Sentinel-less
You try
map
and
to
play
double
retake.
Sentinel? I mean, it's
They
just
have so
Vice
much
being
delay.
viable.
Like
No.
like you said, they're walking into sensors. I
Who
think
started
they
this
even
comp? We don't really
placed,
know.
The vines
You
late
got
into the round,
K-Corp,
so that- okay, we didn't
Trace,
need it on the take this
Nova,
time because they backed off. So let's
XOG,
use it in the late round,
and another
so when
team
they're
that
walking
I've
back in,
forgotten.
they're gonna get hit by them. So then everybody's delayed. It's a lot easier to hit your shots.
It's
and
one of
they're
them.
taking damage. So you're basically playing against the clock by the time you get to that stage.
DRG.
And it is incredibly difficult.
DRG.
That's the thing I'll say that I'm most excited for, or have been most enjoying with Sadak being in the league. is that you put him and Eng together, you're going to come out with some of the most BS compositions you've ever seen in your life.
Someone from China?
And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
so
leaning
difficult
towards
to play against,
Trace.
'cause I do feel like
Because
a
they're
lot of what
already
GX almost
running the
got
single
forced to
deadlock
do
with the
is
Cypher.
push into these
And
more
they just
aggressive
changed the
setups
Cypher
try
to
and
the
catch players early
Vice.
so that
That's
you're not
probably
having to
what
retake,
makes the
because
most
staying
sense.
on the site with that much util is really hard to do.
KC, look what they're up against now. Weaknesses for GX, low economy investment on the back of the previous. Now,
DMV said Wolves. I mean, if they used this comp, they would have won some games.
And it's making its way down through middle.
I don't think that's true.
There for West Side. But before these ults are thrown in, I mean, I could see maybe the showstopper blind fired just to see what
Okay,
it
a bit of a
gets.
change up
But
from
the rest,
Giants,
I'm
going super
expecting
aggro.
that there has to be a reason that they use it. Seeing the numbers, seeing the chance to claim that round victory. The weaponry's not good if it comes down to head-to-head duels. I do like the proactive push down B, and they've waited a while. They pumped the brakes, but at 1:10 left on the clock, here comes the cavalry. The flank
Yeah,
could
here
be
comes the
perfectly
push
timed.
behind, but they have the wall, so it's just a case of do they ever cross back.
The delay,
Yeah, let's see the
so
burst.
very
Is everyone
good so
ready?
far.
Flash burst, you guys ready?
They're gonna actually get caught
Well, there's
out
only
by
one
the
through the
yeah,
wall.
only one player makes it
And
past,
then
the
one of
rest
them
are
was the
still stuck
Razor, and
behind
then the
it, so
Razor's just
that
ulted his
flank is now
teammate.
very well telegraphed,
Oh
which is
god, it's an
narrowly
absolute
to isolate
disaster.
the rest of these duels. There's also
Purpo
a
had his
secondary player
ult,
wrapping in from
got
behind
stuck
who
on the
actually
other
has
side of the
spike.
wall,
This
decided
is
to
a
pop
very
the wall,
weird
has
scenario, maybe
no
having to escape
has no
because of that
satchels,
TP.
and ends up just
Purpo,
ulting his
well, it's
teammate.
unfortunate that he's
Oh,
going
that is a
forward, 'cause if he went back, he actually had a higher
that is a
chance of winning the
blunder.
round.
I don't know what
Not
else
that
to
he would
say
know
other than that.
He'd
That
be
was a
crazy if he
blunder.
did it,
I'm
but it
being
would've
nice.
worked out, as we could see.
You could say a lot harsher words. That was awful.
Look, it's one of those rounds the showstopper ends up being invested because, like I said, you want to see something first. You want to see the chance.
I like the push idea
And that
though.
Flash connecting, a couple of players blinded up close. That's
Dude, the
out of
ult
bounds.
absolutely
Unfortunately,
wrecked
it doesn't
him.
find its mark on Elite. He's able to take a second
Actually landed
kill
on him.
as well as the first, and then set up for the late round. KC buying enough time with players alive for Aves to flank, but again, GX created some opportunities here. They didn't have a
I
lot to
saw
work
that.
with. They went
I
down
saw
mid,
his
this
face. He's
could
wondering
have
what on
ended up
earth
being
are they
a round in
doing.
their pocket. I like that they gambled it.
I saw that from Eng. That was cheeky.
Another push though.
Again, much more aggressive in their defense. Elite very much ready for it, and now Sugetsu is going
Ooh,
to try
nice
and
shots,
swing
though.
back in for the trades.
As much as your ult wasn't great, there were some nice shots.
This is now no
Oh,
longer just,
boy.
okay, we want to
Wait.
try and even up the playing field. This is we have
So that was a bit of a gamble depending on the wall that it hit.
Well, it is round 7.
It
Will we
is hard to
eventually see
get
that
this, but we can just
annihilation
Yori
from
ult,
Sax?
right?
It was online
Yeah.
Very early against Vitality. Right here, though, when it eventually comes into play, not as pivotal.
Yeah,
piece of utility as
and
we'd
you
seen
could
in
tell
that
from
previous
Giants
game.
with
It
the
doesn't
early
find- it
rotate that
doesn't
they
find
weren't
its mark.
considering
Kinda
this.
what you'd expect a lot of the time when
Maybe the
it's fired
people that
through
were
smoke.
dead should have
Spike
been
is
more
retrieved,
vocal.
though,
This could have
thanks to
happened.
Martin,
Ooh, you
but
take
they've
that though.
left a
It's a bad wall,
big
really.
gap to Mazzy. Well, he's just got a freebie, and that puts the man advantage into GX's corner.
Straight away, Thrash thrown in, wanting to try and get as much information as possible. Martin has managed to
Chat,
get
if I
ahead of all the
Gravnet the
utility,
fish ult,
realizing he needs to
how
fight
slow is it?
aggressively, but it's clear by Tomasi.
It's just slower, right?
All on to Sadak. The IGL to try and hold the line, but the Cosmic Divide is making things almost impossible. Escaping through this shouldn't be a possibility, and he's realized it. We'll just look to hold on to the gun, keep the economy, which
It
to be
goes
honest,
like
he's
walking
low on
speed.
credit, so that's not a
Honestly,
bad
that could have been
idea.
the play.
Yeah, it's definitely the best call. Again, despite the fact that, you know, it is, we went into that round at 5-1. It's not like
Shout out to
GX
Papo
have
here.
just
As
been
much as
giving rounds
we
away. They've made sure there's a battle for a lot of
were
these.
laughing about the round
And a couple
before,
of pistols,
he
putting it down to
won this
1.5,
round
and here's the
on his own
reward.
pretty much with the
That
push.
player doesn't go for the
Those nice
clutch,
shots.
saves the rifle instead.
I feel like he let the
I wanna
rocket guy
see
go with the
how
flash.
they gonna
Yeah,
do
I
this.
think they got greedy. They all
Because that's
wanted
the
to go,
problem.
right?
We've got to pause at least for his ice cam, but that's the thing. It's like, how many times can you go that
Giants.
aggressive
2 people
without
can't buy
your
it,
opponent
so
just then
they
waiting
got to
for
kind
you
of all
every
in
single
this
time?
round.
Now, this round at
Vice
least, they
won
have themselves the Viper's
orb
Fist still.
away, and the Vice
Most of
ults are
the
pretty good on
ultimates
this map,
have mostly been
honestly.
expended, but that should at least make things a little bit tougher to break into the A site. But more
What's my
importantly,
favorite
from
team
my
to watch in
perspective,
every
is they can
region?
bolster up B,
Paper
which is where
X,
those executions have
but
been
I
ripping
do like
apart.
Sim, nope, not Sim Presser anymore.
GX's aggression
I do,
not needed in this
I mean, I
round
like
thanks
that
to the
team.
Viper's Pit.
Nongshim as well, but it is
Provided a
Paper
lot
X.
more space on that map, 2-player defensive
Favorite
A.
team.
That's
K-Corp's
something that
always
KC
really
should be
fun
well
when we
aware of,
get
that if they
new
do decide to
metas.
commit to this B site,
So I would
it's gonna be a lot
probably
more
say
numbers that
K-Corp
they have to take care of. For now,
because they do come up
Agro's
with some
thrown
cool
in,
stuff.
It's destroyed, so you're at least confirming a player inside of Hookah. Runner spotted on long
Americas,
as well.
man.
Quite a bit of
I'm not sure
information
about
to work with
Americas.
here for KC, they're hungry for it. Sprinting after Runner. The attempt to take
G2, I had a lot of fun watching G2, but I wouldn't have said that for last year.
Pit buys a little bit of extra time, but KC not deterred. They are still looking to push forward into this B site. Spike has made it through. No
Damn,
control
Martin's super
in
low
any
on this
direction.
one. Surely
This
Wingman
looks
gets
like a
shot.
death
Yeah.
trap that GX have sprung.
Device creates pressure, but I think Vice had to make the play here, no? Like, are they not just completely lost?
25 seconds.
I think Elite had to
Spike
go
now down
there.
on the ground. You feel like control needs to be garnered, and Tomasi is doing a fantastic job. He's been able to hold on to position. Their guns, though, might be about to disappear, but he
Okay,
jumps down.
I'm a big fan of what Giants are doing at the moment. Holy hell, imagine they all went in and they died. That would have been the worst cast ever. So, they're up against an Astra, right? And normally you play Brim on this map, and most people when they... With Brim you can kind of exec over towards long, right? You can have a smoke, it can cover elbow, it can cover hookah, and it can cover spawn. So now the fact you only have the Astra, it kind of means there's only double smoke. So if you hold over towards hookah here, you're going to consistently have a crossfire. And that is what they're doing, and honestly it looks very strong, and I need K-Cup. I need K-Cup to take hookah control. Let's see if they do it. This looks like a fast strat though.
I love that they took.
Yeah, we've already committed wall
That
down.
was such a big part of being able to cling to that round.
Ooh, got a little gap here.
Actually found
Nice.
a gap around the back of the utility, so not clearing them out. And you can see in this round, KC much more of a focal point to make sure hookah is clear. The problem is GX have also reacted. Now they're fighting further towards long.
A great
Yeah, and at least they took control of this part of the map now, so they should have a much better time.
On those, but 68 health, they were stripped from him fully, or down to 4.
They short with the orb.
A wonderful spam, the setup from Runner that we talked about before, that Gecko flash over top on contact, had pushed KC back with a minute on the clock. They're again gambling on this B site. No
There
doubt
goes the
it's a favor
TP,
for
here
the
comes the
squad,
official.
but this time it should
Let's
be
see
a
if the
little
3
bit
can hold
easier.
this.
Thrash
It's a great
is
molly.
leading the charge,
Oh,
destroyed
absolutely wrecked him.
immediately.
Martin just out on an island. He at least flashed for himself. Oh, where are the smokes? Wait, what?
From the side of GX as everybody falls, leaving
They smoke really early, I
to
think.
pick up the pieces.
Do they only have one
1v5.
smoke?
Even going for this one doesn't seem too likely, but the 30-second save against 5, not the easiest either.
He's still a player you have to be careful of. You don't want to give him too many fights where he can just sit and hold his cross.
Giants, it's 2 nice rounds from them so
right
far.
At the top of the board for that, at least, but nobody really giving him anything.
pulled
I
back
like
the
this
elbow
Jet.
smoke.
Very controlled.
Oh,
and I think
boy.
this round in general, you can see already the adaptations
Reckon
that they're
misclick?
making to make sure that this B-side
I would have to
isn't
watch
just
it
a
again to
free
know if
pass
it's
for
100%
KC
on
every
a
single
timer
time.
like they
And
had
one of
both
the focal
smokes,
points,
but
I think, as
thank
well
you,
is
Dan.
firstly Runner's utility, but also Tomasi's grab wall. They're trying
Great
to get out
purple is
along.
a
Each time
duelist.
he's putting a grab wall there, so it's
I'm a little
okay,
bit biased
you
because I've
can
seen
throw
him
this utility down,
in
but
prax
I'm
do
not
some
gonna
mad
let you
stuff.
get anywhere near my
So
team.
I think he's really good,
Because
but if you
that
just look at
grab wall,
officials,
because
probably
that's
don't rate him that
because
highly.
whatever other utility he has is gonna
But
slow you
he
down.
does some mad stuff in prac, it's just if we can see that level.
There, and the only LED working is red, stopping KC's push with this utility, fragmenting them, leaving Martin as the entry on the site with no one behind
It's a good
him.
timeout, look.
And not that anyone could
This
be
is a good timeout.
behind him at that point either. The strategy was called, it was executed, and it was interrupted with perfection.
They probably have
This
enough
leaves
rounds already,
Carmine
but
Core calling
it'd be
a
nice to get
timeout
some
now,
more.
Despite a lights-out start, 5-1 in the lead, GX are now just 1 round behind them, and that doesn't sit well with Zeiss.
Yeah, you can understand why. I think in the past we've seen this execution work incredibly well, and the fact that they've been trying it again and again, this time even having the Thrash, and you could tell that GX were ready for it. They had one player from afar watching to catch that Thrash, and then they had immediately delay utility so that nobody could try and
The
execute
teams play
off
more
that play.
KO on binds.
Like, this is just solid
I
counter
think KO is
utility
fine.
coming out from
Most
GX,
teams,
and then just,
thing is
yeah,
most
some of
teams
the
want some
individuals
kind of
stepping up to the
drone
plate. So
normally.
KC want to try and find
Or like
another gap because
Prowler-esque.
other than those B-site executions, I feel like A hasn't been anywhere near as easy. I think
People
trying
make
to walk
people make the
into
KO look good.
West Side's utility setup has normally opted with them losing a player early on, which well, you don't really want in those early takes of sites.
Well, with a round between them, Ults
And double
burned up
recoil star, get
earlier
people
on
in crazy
on the side of
positions.
GX.
Yeah, yeah.
They
People
still
do it.
have one left to roll with.
People are doing like a double star
Used for some early
retake on like
aggression. We've
Pearl
seen that,
A,
but
where they like do one and then do another,
see
and
what
it's
the
like slightly delayed so
called
it
play
lasts
is.
longer.
Haunt
I feel like
is
that
another
bugged
facet
there.
of the defense here on GX. You see the Viper wall on the mini-map that's just outside of that A
Okay,
site.
so they
have
dodge the
Haunted
eye,
above
and we
it,
have a
so
straight up
even if you're stood on
rotate.
the other side, they can reveal you and shoot you straight through it. Denied that
Wow,
opportunity.
I'm not
for
sure
an
this
early
is...
fight. Purple goes back, and he makes his own. On middle, Martin falls again. Early pick for the side of GX.
I think K-Corp could steal some of the stuff that the Chinese teams are doing.
Ready to try and make this
With
much
this
more
comp.
problematic. There you go. Immediately, the second the Prowler gets contact, this is going to keep 2 players low, def.
I don't think I've ever seen a straight up contact play.
But now it's not going great. They'll section off the back of the site. But they still need quite a lot more.
So many players here for GX. They're ready to
Okay,
surprise.
Wingman's going to tank
Oh,
this.
and a
How
big
the
swing
hell
there,
has he
and a
done that?
shutdown.
How has he done that?
Of any form of retake, just go and save. Don't walk into Aves. He's on fire. I need to see that one slow down, sped up backwards and forwards. Give him the ace.
Let's see it.
Stolen it.
What even went down?
I saw 3
He's
players
giving
coming
it.
out of lamps. That looked like the easiest 3v1 fight of all time, and Aves knocked
The
him down
deadlock was
like
behind him,
dominoes.
right? I
He
think.
had a massively impressive
There we go.
debut.
Yeah,
and
it's double.
second game
Whoa,
with his
whoa.
squad. I think
That
he has
is
been one of
very
the,
nice,
he's a player
though.
that came
Oh,
in, I
that
think we've
first
seen
shot
him
is
a while ago
incredible.
Playing with it was the Egyptian team, right? That we saw playing
Shalabi, back in the
different
day.
Red Bull events as well, playing regionally. He was fantastic,
grinding.
but it was whether or not it's a jump. Like coming into the VCT, how he's going to be able to perform.
It was rad, wasn't
the
it,
last
though?
couple of games have
I
been
think the team.
fantastic, and you're starting to see the reasons why.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't put that man in a coach slot, would you? No, it's skills like that.
Maybe in like 15 years. You know?
Yeah.
15 years or so. Maybe it will cool down a little bit.
6.
Coach in the league.
What's the money like?
Well,
Low for the
Aves,
last one.
great round from him in the previous. GX had a 4-man stack on A, and it still wasn't enough. Not with that man standing opposite them. Now we look to a 2-round
Is this
advantage.
a limb?
to
Yeah,
credits
it's lower
reigning
bracket.
for GX, but they have put a big investment on the board as we are on board with that gun. Purpo, the big purple weapon, scope down on mid, and it looks like he'll get a chance. Again, though, with the comp that he's up against, you have to imagine before anyone's peeking that Aves is throwing in a flash.
Wait,
There's
are we
a
about
smoke.
to get really proactive
there's
from
something.
Giants?
They're not just going to
Maybe.
dry peek it.
Gonna highlight
Surely
this, so I have to
they're
watch the minimap. Nice shot.
The flash was there, Tom. The flash was there. It was just a little bit too late.
We do love a Mitch Man curse. It's forever surviving through the many
Yeah,
years.
let's see what the fade is like once they commit over towards the site.
Coming up soon. You'll still be there.
30 seconds left.
Okay.
Again, though, with this advantage, already going to
Oh,
see the
take that,
showstopper.
wingman.
Well, it actually just ends up as a little boost for Sugetsu to get the kill. 20 seconds, though. Spike down on the deck. I feel like this round is already done. It would have to be mass mistakes from the side of GX, and they have been tempered and controlled in a lot of these rounds, even when things haven't gone their way. Or saying that, though,
Last player
that one got a little
standing.
bit dicey. There was a chance, but
Not too
with
bad
how
for
little
Giants.
time,
The
I think
ops helping
even
them.
then,
I do
it's
think,
never gonna
again,
go their
K-Corp
way.
could
Elite
really
will
learn
look
from
to
the
save,
Chinese
and
teams.
GX are
The
gonna put the
Gravnet
difference down to just one.
usage on
Might
attack.
boil down to a little bit of
Out of the
economic
5 teams
damage,
we've seen,
in the very
maybe the
best
worst.
case scenario. The spike was too far away and the time was too low. That's a mistake that they will not make again. Again, you see that Gecko flash. It's thrown out,
Thank
but
you, replay team.
yeah, indeed, a phenomenal job as per usual.
10 seconds
But
left. One
yeah, the
enemy
idea was there.
remaining.
They just really didn't think there'd be an op up top. That's a mistake you make one time,
I need a weapon.
and we won't see that one again. Well, at least I very much hope we won't.
Mitch Man has said we will not see that again.
Yeah, and here we go. It's going to be
If
back
he
to
does
back.
it, he just ego peeks him. That would be what I respect it if he does.
Favorite maps in
They are
CS?
jump peeking the corner. They are going
In
in dry,
Source,
looking just to take
Tuscan,
that fight, but
in
there's a reposition
CS:GO,
from Purpo. He's over towards bathroom, and he'll
and
be
probably
completely
Cash.
out of this
I
game.
did like Dust 2. I like playing
The
Dust
only
2,
goal
but
from West
that's
side
only
was
just because
just
I AWPed
He's
all the
put that
time.
snake bite down onto the sides of the plant. At least
Cash was sick.
taking a little bit more time.
Spike planted.
They also have Thrash for the retake, a Cosmic Divide of their own, but the attackers have the same ult in the form of Thrash.
This is the round to use it in. Not going to leave anything on the table. Thrash gone in, but it's
Wow.
caught by the wall. Blocked off completely.
Well,
And now Thrash
dude,
comes in
everyone's
on the other
fish is just
side,
meeting the wall.
more aware, the wall broken.
Okay, they hit
Finds its
2.
mark.
Can they
Aves
follow it
now
up?
removed from the engagement. Sadik, though, up close,
I'm
has
not
to
sure he
hold
should
the
be
line,
getting
buy
too
them a
many
bit
here.
more time, and he does just that already, denying it at every step of the
Oh
way.
my
KC
goodness, this
emerged
Yoru
victorious.
flash.
It
This
is
Yoru
7
flash
to 5
was
at the
everything.
halftime. It could have been
Yeah,
much
they got a lot
worse
of
for
rounds.
GX.
Yeah, it It was a bit of a slow
A
start.
lot of rounds.
And a nice
I like some of the rounds
that just
from
didn't
Giants.
quite get
You
executed
could
on,
see,
but
you could
ultimately
see a good amount of
KC
theory
will
of
be
what was
the
going on,
ones
how they wanted to
coming
play
into the
against
lead.
it. A couple of rounds trying to make use of the fact they only have 2 smokes. The early picks, because sometimes they're just dry swinging corners. The op is definitely what you want to do as well. I feel like so. Their ideas weren't too bad. How would I play against the K-Cop comp? I'm just stealing it. Just stealing the Vice. Headlock, man. I'm not playing it, I'm banning it, basically. Either I'm playing that comp or I'm banning this map. Okay, chat, sorry, I just gotta mute the mainstream so I don't get wrecked. It's fine, Lexi, we'll do it after. Don't worry. It's all good, we've got so much time. Yeah, no, I'll wait for, we'll wait for the break maybe for that as well, like a proper break. Easiest way to beat it is to ban bind, I'm telling you. When you got 5 different teams using this version of the comp, and it's undefeated so far.
Well, Tom, it looks like
Got
we're
something
ready
good
to
about
jump
it.
back into the game, half number 2.
Well, I'll be doing the Vice strats for coach players. I wanted to, but the bind goes out of the map pool pretty soon. We have a Teo bind, but honestly the Vice bind one is better.
You're gonna be running into that
When
deadlock
bind comes
setup
back, we'll do it.
more often.
But I do reckon that the deadlock Gravenet will be nerfed by them slightly.
I
think it's just too big.
You could have easily just got choked out of the game, but they were still proactive. They were still happy to get in the face of their opponents.
Do
And they still
Vice,
had adaptations
Vice lock on
put
split?
themselves in
Yeah, it is
positions
good
like
as
where they
well.
took hookah control and get themselves back into the
Mini
game. So
wanted to do
I
Lotus,
do
I think.
that probably winning the pistol will help them out quite
We got a
bit
lot of
just
stuff
with
we
the
can do.
start. And they're already going to be heading very directly.
It's easier to just steal
towards
stuff from
this
teams
B-long
at the moment though. Instead of having to come up with our own
It's already
stuff.
caught wind of them. Sagetsu blinded as he was about to swing in for big damage. And so they will have to give up the position.
At the moment for pistols it's 1-0. And that is a good nade. Forces the man into open, that was lovely. Oh god, Tamazi tanked a bullet from behind, wasn't even aiming for him.
Up top deletes Avez, one of the big players in some of the last rounds, and with low HP on Sagetsu,
They should win this though.
Clearly sits with
Should
the
be a
attack.
pistol a piece.
They're already being delayed by that Viper utility. Flash about to go in. They need to try and get something off the back of it, but the players just about wrapping in onto the site. Still a bit wary on the attack. The players could be coming from behind.
Oh
and
no.
because of that,
Damn.
there's a gap that's been found
Holy.
and exploited.
There was some nice
That
shots, low
runner
HP, doable
is
for
all
runner.
that remains.
Great jump.
HP
3 bullets,
still in
2
his
bullets.
favor. He's got to try and find
Oh
both,
my
and he will
goodness,
get
they actually managed to
neither.
retake it. Shout out to
It is gonna
Martine,
be
that was
that
incredible.
pistol
Love
going
this
the way
little
of
jump around the
KC.
corner as
As
well.
you sort of said in the moment, Mitch, that
Well,
was a tough one to break back in for.
Giants can't win this map.
Definitely looked like it.
They actually had to win the pistol, it's kind of
The
done.
way back through. And the way this started out
I would
for
like
GX,
to see
Stray
them
seized
force
Avez, picked
here.
up on the backside. Elite was
They need
pushed
to give
out of the
momentum.
open by a nade, but this here exploited Martine, making opportunities for the squad as their eyes are drawn towards him, wrap around the back. This is something we've seen KC do a bunch of times, just overwhelming their opponents. And with a pistol under their
That's
belt,
K-Corp, you
the
can't
lead
curse this comp.
stands.
It's too good, chat.
Honestly, I think a piece of content we need is just Avez versus Zeiss for who gets more.
Wait, what are they arguing at?
Like, they just seem like they've just got, like, I don't know, some sort of, like,
Okay, Outlaw
golden retriever
on
energy.
defense. We're seeing a lot more teams bring this out on the anti-eco.
You get players like that in the same
They
team
said we would see it this year, and we're seeing it this year. The Outlaw usage must be like double, maybe even triple at the moment, I would say.
Well, not much to be played with here for GX, so
Oh, they just beat it.
fast-paced move. In fact, Cloud just leading the He's just going in and out of smokes, trying to find something. Even a plant would be a few extra credits. It's
Yeah, no,
not
the
end of
plants are
world
nice.
when you literally invest into a singular pistol, and that pistol is in the hands of Westside. See if he can do some damage.
He's got some cavalry leading the way. The classics barreling forward. They're protecting the president. 16 HP. Left on west side. A quick bullet in his direction. Should be quick to drop.
Actually, they're delaying a good amount of time.
I mean, realistically, the pressure, it's taking a while to come in. Now the clock starts to tick away. A few kills here. For
Yeah, this
GX.
Astra Smoke's kind of nice.
They're denied anything.
I'll give them that.
I see the first come in so quickly. I'm thinking, oh, we're really in for something.
Ignore
But in the
lamps,
end,
Astra
it's a
Smoke on
relatively clean close up by KC.
the top.
Yeah, and they had one play. I think it was Sadak was on a pistol, so they actually lose no weapons. So that's really not a bad round for them at all. And as said, a few extra credits, a single kill when you only buy a sheriff is also fine for GX. It's just one of those rounds that you kind of wait for it to end so that we can get back into the action. The only worry for me here is that KC come in with a very strong buy.
Okay, full armor. Oh boy, full armor, so this is going to have to be 2 shots. So K-Corp, if they want to, can heavy retake. What are we playing? Double blockers?
Yeah, it's just going to make it a little easier for your teammate to contribute to those battles in a meaningful way. Just the 10 HP taken off will be enough. GX. Well, there's a flash just hit
Oh,
the
I like it.
through the TP. Elite
Oh,
and
I
now
really
Sadak
like it.
Even piping up and the spike
they're
now
just-
dropped.
they're just showing off now.
Huge early fight for KC. This map just
I was
got a
thinking when they
whole
threw the
lot
grav net
smaller.
in, I was
All
like,
they
well,
have to
you
do
don't really
is
have the
hold on
damage
bathroom,
to
a deep wall as
actually
well,
do anything off of it, but
completely denying the wall
TP,
confirmer.
flash
There's
goes
a
in,
player
and they're kind of
inside
using the
TP.
fact that the Gecko flash will like
Alves, I
flash
don't think we'll
you
have
if
his
you're not
flashback
facing it
online.
as
I
well.
believe that one is gone.
Right, so they just throw it through
But
the
still,
doorway, so it's going to get
the
everyone
Arcro's
that's
ready
facing
for
these
elite.
two that are pushing them.
Snake bite. Oh, the snake
okay.
bite's got him at his feet. Precision
Oh,
from
Wingman's
Westside,
out here
going
not
for
slapping
another.
people as well.
This
What's going
round
on?
looked to be
Missing.
locked down, and instead there's
Um?
a challenger.
Enemy
Westside
remaining.
falls eventually, but he set Tamazi up for the 1v1.
It's Tomazi versus the man who replaced him. A chance for a little bit of revenge or a chance to prove a point for Sugetsu. He's actually wrapping back around towards the B site. Maybe having the read that,
30
okay,
seconds
I've been
left.
seen on one side of the map, why would my opponent continue to push
I remember
into
King,
that
the old
side
school
of the
Korean
map?
Sentinel, for
And it
sure.
just seems like
I mean, he
a battle
created most of the
mind
good
games.
stuff
Tomazi
on
reading, okay, he's
Haven
probably
and-
tried to go back around behind me
I mean, pretty
instead.
much just Haven.
It's ended. It's a bit of a stalemate. He's going to use that smoke to get his way back onto
King
the site.
cages.
He's planting towards heaven if he wants to go that way. But there's a lot of unknowns that he has to
Yeah, I mean, he
check on.
literally
He
has
be
to
careful he's not
headshot.
caught in util.
But we could see a body shot into a pistol.
Just missing 150 HP as well on Tamazi.
The original Cypher
Problem
player?
for
Yeah,
Sugetsu.
pretty
All
much.
those rifles are being gate kept as well. No free pickup for him. This is a very difficult fight to win. The smoke perhaps will give
he
an
saw the gun.
advantage. There's a gap though,
Oh,
and
yeah, when he
Tamazi
did that
is
little peek,
holding
he
it.
saw the gun.
The round falling into the hands
Ooh,
of GX.
man. I
Good
mean,
attempt from
shout out
KC
to
though,
Giants. I'm not
nonetheless.
sure they should have
Oh,
won
yeah,
this.
It's an incredibly costly round. And this is the thing I love, again, you see these
Oh, the Astra suck as well. Oh, it's so nice because it's the deadlock grav net into the Astra suck. So you literally just insta go in towards the middle.
Because if you are close enough, the flash goes off, you run
Yeah, and then you
backwards,
can just
and
kind
you're
of
in
pre-aim it a
either
little
of
bit.
those two pieces of
It just
utility.
overpeaked and
That is
Westside hit,
about as good
and they
as a
just
pinch is ever gonna get.
were
The
confident.
problem is what happened
Oh.
afterwards. Yes, then, yeah,
They
I
were very
understand,
confident
because
that
when you're in a 2 versus
the
4
wingman
scenario,
util would
it probably
had
shouldn't
actually
slip
hit.
away like that.
Well, that's it, and look when it's happened as well. That's put KC down to low credits. GX heating up into it, 3 rounds behind. Ult's coming online soon as well.
It's the Getsu's
It's a
perma
bad
playing
time
outlaw.
for a slip up, because that may just have GX sliding right back into this game. Foot in the door for now. They need to convert this round though to really
Martin or is
capitalize.
his TP? Okay. I mean, he's probably gonna get
Hoping
Gecko
that Abbas will
flashed.
give him the contact. Their own utility out to try and
Oh.
escape, but maybe giving the game away instead. Hovers managed to, well, I was going to say dodge the majority of utility, but he ends up
My
being
goodness,
caught.
this guy's
Pressure
crazy.
put onto Sadak,
Oh, he's
left
crazy.
completely blind. He
My
just
goodness.
about gets around the corner and the ult's
God, he's
gonna be
absolutely
utilised
owned him.
instead. Even still, though, they've been pinched from the back. Tamazi
What is this
again.
round? Shout out
He's
to
been having a
Marzi. He
phenomenal
absolutely
game.
sent it back aside.
Even still, they've lost runner. It still puts this down to just a one-man difference. But Tomazi, he
Sure.
wants a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean,
Seeming
he's
like
solo
he wants
won
to
this.
punish KC for letting him go. More
That's a headshot?
eventually, Sugetsu will take him out. But Tomazi should have done enough for the round.
Yeah, no, Tamazi did unbelievable.
Well, he has taken out the man he
They
replaced,
didn't.
but
They
a few
didn't
more
focus
to
on
drop,
getting their
and it's
mate out of
Cloud
the
wrapping
deadlock, or he just
that finds the
absolutely
bullet to the head.
sent it
Or
back
body
aside
even.
to take space.
9-7. 2 rounds in between them, and that's the round that GX needed. Like we said,
Yeah, it's
winning the
the
last
inner
one
duelist
is
coming
nice,
out.
not just because it's a pivotal part of the economy game, a swing round, but also the fact that KC 4v2, you lose that, you're tilted off the face of the earth. Now you lose this round and you're left down to pistols. That's a devastating blow dealt by GX.
That's the thing. The last one was the bonus. So it's like, okay, if you take the bonus, you
It's very
kill
close
4
with double
people,
pistol.
when you
Yeah,
win the
yeah.
next round,
And
yeah,
Anthony
yeah,
K-Cup
fine.
could
Like, you go, okay, we've now wrecked their economy.
K-Cup
Instead,
could
you
learn a
lose
lot
the
from
next
watching some
round,
China
and
VODs.
now you're the one that's in trouble.
I'm not
And
sure.
that's the
I don't
thing,
think
as
I've
you
ever said that
the
before.
manner in which they
But they
lost
could.
it, plus now
Oh no, I
losing
have
the
said that.
next
I've said
round,
that for attack
it
op,
doesn't
to be
put them
fair.
in the best of
Because
spots.
China
And I also
use
like that we
attack
are
op all the
seeing
time.
some of that individual brilliance we knew was there. Tomazi taking over rounds a couple of times now for this team. Here's someone that we've seen play the duelist back in the days of the Portuguese league and saw. I knew that was coming. I left space for it. But now again, execution into
Good luck.
the combination of Sentinel utility. There's only one man here though.
Elite, time to prove yourself. Drop
Oh,
down, good
he did
shot.
great.
But he's out wide. Cloud will find him, and Tomazi picks up the flank. Knows there's another
Dude,
here.
back-to-back
Saw
3Ks.
step past just moments ago, denying any damage past the first kill, and it's Martin, 65 HP, a classic in hand, not a gate crash to his name. Certainly not the round
The
that you
defense
expect him
to
to
really
bounce
clear
back
question marks
into.
before as well. That
Take
is true.
across the line and flying colors for GX.
You're right.
Checking in with where they're at. 4 players surviving. Economy stabilized. Ults are online. Runners got Thrash as well on the attack side. That could be a much more pointed attack. Unless someone like Savage.
Okay, maybe a timeout. I'm going to keep an eye on how they're playing the
Despite the fact that they
wall.
were 5-1 down.
Like,
And
I'm going
even
to keep an eye
here,
on how they're playing
just 2
both
rounds
of the
ago,
walls at the
KC
moment.
Set to decimate this squad.
Because
Nice
Giants should be
housekeeping.
struggling really on their buy
The
runs.
4v2 that should have seen 10 on the board already, and KC running away with the end of this map. Instead, Bind is
Tomazi,
very
yeah.
much up for grabs.
These rounds are big.
3 ults each.
17 to
Rifles
13
across
as well.
the board. Operator in play for Martin. All credits on the line here for the side of KC. This is it. Round 18 sees a timeout as KC. This is their last one. Their second already burned up.
Yeah, you can understand it. They had opportunities in the last couple of rounds. I also think, again, like seeing Tomazi start to almost take over a little bit in some of these rounds is a great sign for GX, but maybe a bit of a panic sign, especially if you're KC. You kind of sit there
You
and
would
go,
probably try
like,
some new stuff,
there are certain
Gabri, but
players where,
I always
Tomazi,
like those
think,
kind of
said in an
comps.
interview earlier where it's like, oh, I don't really think about playing against my old team. I think that's bollocks. Because I think he is the sort of player that will.
We've got a lot of ults. Oh yeah, I forgot we're in EMEA. We can actually talk about stuff.
I think that will
Okay, big change up.
Not that he
They
has
get the op
anything
out.
against Karma. Of
Astra
course, the
ult for
fact that
Astra ult.
he wants to
For sure.
prove that, okay, you were wrong.
Dude, these
And
are
I
genuinely- strong
maybe
ults
I'm
though.
wrong. I could be wrong in that regard, but just seeing the way he plays.
These are strong ults, and they're gonna want to make him eco. Or they let them use all of these ults and they win the next with the ults, and then they have no money.
To maybe try and calm the heaters on your opponent could be a big
You
thing.
wanna let him
but
get
also
to
just
10?
talking about
Probably not.
Some of those slip-ups, some of those mistakes, you're coming in with a big buy, you have some very good ultimates online, but so do your opponents. And just putting that awareness into the minds of your team, and you have someone like Eng, you give them a bit of time to talk.
Well, this is it. You know.
Yeah, a
on the
couple of ways
side
to approach
GX
this for
as well,
Giants.
It's sort of valuable
Really.
for them. Sure,
See what
they've
they
got
go for.
themselves the showstopper and the thrash,
K-Cup
big ultimates and
obviously,
close to
big
getting
change
the
up
others
is getting
online
the
as
op
well.
out.
Of course, I can see Tomazi has his, just the impact. Not going to be as in your face. For the side of KC, they need to be ready to pivot. If you hear Purpo popping the ultimate on the defensive side, you need to make sure you're not in position.
so they got aggro wall,
pick you off. Should always be
and
a get out of
Deadlock
jail,
is just holding the
if
wall.
not free, for the low cost of utility.
Yeah, wall goes off. So all of these other Chinese teams now have like a reaction for this. Like they would be walling showers right now. Okay, they wall short. And that's okay. Still some kind of reaction.
Alongside the vines,
I think this one's a little
both
bit too
delay,
easy. I would always do this, but it's all good.
an all-out stall.
Okay, and Giants have done really good. We're like
Put more players
1 minute
over
in,
there, so
or I
thing
guess
is,
like
though, so happy
45
it's
seconds in, and they've already got rid of both
Attempt to
walls.
spam was close.
I think the TP.
I think they are. Spike is still here. And indeed, it's gone straight through the teleporter. They've
Okay,
seen
give me the
the
Vice,
deadlock
give me
is on the
Martin.
inside.
Let's see
They
what they
don't know
got.
that the utility is
Nice
on
shot.
the other. They don't know the operator is here and that Martin.
Unlucky,
Well,
dude. Honestly, I think
teammate
Martin had to try
slowed down
delay
the
it a
river a
little bit
little
and
bit.
tank one of these.
But now the
Nice
opportunity
kill.
to claim an extra position, use that
Wait, did
flash
we
and
get a
pop out
team
for another.
official?
Even going onto the shorty for a third.
Or was this Aviz getting his ult
Martin
involved
takes
as well?
commanding grip
There's a
of
lot
that
going on,
round, and
dude.
double digits are found for KC as a result.
Yeah, I think we've had a good showing from Martin, but I think those are the explosive rounds that he's almost known for. And again, I like the fact, okay, he maybe sold Elite down the river a little
No,
bit.
he really
But
owned
all
him.
in
Yeah, he
the
did really
goal
own
of
him.
finding out
Whoa.
information where the players are using the ult and
That was nice, though.
repositioning into a new angle so he can get back in with the team. And I think, again, you just see the value of some of that
Okay, yeah, it was,
supportive utility.
it's their own
the
fish.
flashes that went in alongside the retake. A much better looking round from the side of KC.
And they use
Still
double
though,
ults as well for
there's
Giants,
gonna
so...
be another purchase and an immediate push
Ooh.
to try and fight for that control. Purpo almost
Gravnet's
seemed
good.
angry wanting to get
Yeah,
into that
Purpo's
space
tanking
so
some
quickly.
spams. Aviz is tunnel visioning like a madman. I don't know about that, my guy. I don't know about that from Aviz. That is one of the biggest tunnel visions I've ever seen.
Foothold on the A side.
Nice shot,
There's
dude.
not much else to say, you think, but Martin,
Dude, it's so fast-paced right now.
Top, grabs a kill as a result. Spike goes down nonetheless.
Vice ult for retake. If Westside gets a
And
kill,
look
he
at
gets
KC.
ult.
They're not making this complicated. Just one angle
That's
of
a
approach.
solid
Steel
ult.
guard
Do we
used
have
to
any
steal
backup
away
guns for
those
this?
weapons. This could
All
be a big
classics.
problem. It's classics across the board. The shorty denied off rip. A brave play to say the least. Elite catching Westside.
Cloud just bailed on him.
Reset, fall back, and run this clock down further. They will not win in the open duels with those weaker
Yeah, and you gotta
weapons, but
imagine
now
the Runner
rifles
wins
are
this.
back online, and Runner not afraid to show it. It's the Getsu.
Yeah, I respect the decision from Cloud here.
The time too far gone. The op retrieved. Needs to run. He needs to run now. He'll
Yeah,
get
and
the
this
kill,
op
but
is
that spike
done, right?
is
It's close.
hot on his heels. Not quite gonna make
Where's
it
the money?
out.
Two people can't buy?
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a big round for GX. And like the thing is, there's one or two angles where I think like, okay, steel gun, you're gonna take away their weapons. They just move into lamps and go, I got a classic. This is probably better than my rifle anyway. Just being able to hold on and
Yeah,
trade
this
out
shot
some
was
of those
sick.
weapons. I also do really
I'm
like
impressed they
the
managed to
pace
get
games. You know that a
one
lot of
between
their
them in the
comp is about
double
finding information
the double
and then,
classic
for
hold in
example, using
lamps.
the wall from
K-Corp
the deadlock
have no
to hold you
timeouts,
back from
so
pushing through. Well, if you're already past it, that wall
most
then
likely we
becomes
get to
something that
10-10.
holds you
We do have a
back
Bucky
later
though,
into
so we
the
probably got to
round.
pay attention. They also have enough money to
The
say
economy of
saved
KC
even
almost
for the op.
immediately destroyed. While Purpo,
It's gonna be one of those rounds where everyone plays before. Oh my goodness, they caught out.
Exactly what he gets again. Within 20 seconds, a player on KC is
Kind of
dead.
confident that it's contacting up short.
Absolutely fuming. I do cast my eye down the west side and see that he has his ultimate, the Viper's Pit, but also an outlaw. I'm assuming there's some sort of a
He's not gonna
shorty.
win this round.
Yeah, no, it should, well, certainly shouldn't need to by the looks of things right now. The bookie on Static attempting to find a couple tags up, but GX are being very wise to this. They haven't taken any of that super close control. I think Purpo's the one with the biggest risk. Actually, risk of being wallbanged.
Oh, he might be gonna.
No more danger of the bookie, although it might be recovered. Elite's on his way in. So too is Aviz. Low HP across the board, though. Shots to the body will be enough for the first, but Aviz is the one to connect it. Bunny hopping out with a bookie. Quite a clean kill. Still, the numbers on GX left to 3. This round is not going anywhere, and neither
Very
are the
nice.
remaining weapons.
Let's see where the
10 to 10.
op goes.
They're climbing
The
back
Martin
again
on
for
defense.
GX. I am
Like
again,
early
just seeing them
showers
play
might
this
be
contact
nice.
style, they're not giving away the game, and that's been one of the major issues I feel is they're not. You could see on the other side that they're not expecting anybody to just walk dry into these angles. So a lot of the utility, like the grab net. Well, you're not going to throw a grab net randomly. Maybe you have a set play in certain aspects of the round. The pace of which we saw them take the showers in the previous round would have bypassed a lot of that utility. They are realizing that if they're going to use everything to stagger us, let's not give them anything. Let's just go straight
Wait,
through.
they saved money
go
for op, but
these
didn't use
aggressive
op?
pushes and make sure they can't
Oh,
delay us at
okay.
all.
They had the money for it, no doubt. Purple is tanking bullets, and they just got a double entry over towards long.
Completely decimating the B-long hold.
Not sure if you want.
Despite the utility
Why
that
would
is
you be
waiting for
dueling
the-
with the
the
Vice
drop
so
out of
early?
Luka on the play to the backside. Well, that arc rose isn't going to be
Actually,
activated
just
anytime
I mean, I get
soon
the
without a
debates
lead
there,
around.
but
that stun isn't going to be capitalized on without a player there to fight. And even then, the flank is being watched.
dude,
Damaz is
look at
about
my
to get a
Astra.
kill
My
in
Astra's
the
sitting in spawn.
He's caught Sadik, who seemed to be quite aware of his position. Connecting the kill is a different story altogether. Well done by Aves. That's one pickup. But is that going
The
to
grab net raise nade makes such a difference in the other comps. Yeah, they also don't have like I will say the other comps use the 2 walls way better.
11-10 right in the home stretch of the game. This is not
I'm not sure I'm fully sold on the Yoru. I feel like the Yoru still solo just sending it in. On attack as well.
They've fallen back. They've given some space. But Tamazi has taken some.
And then when you have so much stall, being able to have the nade for default is just so good.
I don't care about the spike. I want to see Aves. He's got a duel on his hands and he's won it. That should be the weapons retrieved.
Yeah, they'll be able to hold on to those for the next round, but again, it's exactly the same. They're going for
K-Corp's hiding the statistic, yeah. But this will be a good demo for if they do lose. Because they can just watch the China stuff and just change this to a race.
I think that is the thing again with this team where you talk about some of the individual
Pipson? I mean, his game plan here was nice, at least on defense. I feel like this is more just K-Corp misplaying at the moment, though. But I like the stuff they're bringing on defense.
Is there anything else involved in that tank? Maybe I missed one smoke or something that was put behind them. I don't know.
Okay, they pick a right side there. They're going to go fast on this.
Yep, there's someone there. Purpo, go and kill them.
Efficient strategy from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, just insta Prowler. They 3-person hold that.
It is Purpo ready to fire himself.
It is just a low buy kind of. Elite can't buy next.
Still, nobody
Oh boy, unlucky.
Claim, and he has fired into the dark. A game of battleships. It's Purpo to sink Sugetsu. GX, man advantage. Thrash and Viper's pin
nice
online
shot.
for the post blind. Cloud online with a kill onto Elite. It
Did
goes
they
from
put
bad to
the ult
worse.
into the ecos? Oh, we're really going for it. 3v4 ecos. They did grab one. They bailed him out though.
Into a 3v3 scenario. The attack though still have ults of their own. The Viper's fit down. The Thrash is hunting within it.
It caught Aves.
And actually it's gone.
So there goes the ult
A little
down.
bit more problematic.
We got any vision block?
Two players
No vision
remaining,
block.
That time is ticking. They need to move on the other side.
Nice shots, dude.
Holding that line, and Martin is
Oh boy,
desperately
2.
low.
I feel like Giants are wrecking them.
They will get to 12, and now they have
I
a
don't like
chance
how
to
they're playing
take
it
their
on
opponent's
defense.
map.
There was a time here where this looked like KC cleaning up. Aves has had some incredible rounds. Individuals have been active. Sadic's setup has been dealt with. You can see there's certainly a deep level of preparation there from GX and what they're coming up against. They're not being caught off guard.
With a double
quite as
pistol? Yeah,
much.
that's what I mean. The buys have been pretty
What recovery this has
convincing.
been. 2 chances now to close this map out.
I'm thinking as well, all the way back.
I cast them. I mean, it's always bound to happen that someone
Here we go.
I think at the time they were
plays the comp a lot worse than other teams.
so called as Gambit. Purpo was subbed
It's
in
still super
for a final
doable.
map
But yeah, I mean,
by a coach, and a
the
lot
fact
of
they
us
got
thought,
double
"Damn, that's
pistol
a
and
harsh
it's only
debut."
this is kind of wild.
He's back against him right now.
Okay, this is a little bit more like what the Chinese teams do, but then this would be here.
He has been
Obviously,
active.
there has to be the active. And clearly
At
has
least-
faith
at
in
least they're
Purpo.
holding
Purpo
showers,
is an
though.
individual. I don't think there's any doubt about that to bring him in at such a crucial time, but
Casually throwing K-Corp under the bus.
he's now looking very good in this map right
The
now.
Chinese teams
Tomasi
do have better
also
stuff, though.
on the
I
hunt
know
for
you think the
revenge.
same,
He's up
Chobra.
there at the top of the
Oh
board as
boy,
well.
we're out here
Maybe
being
one of the
straight up
worst
trapped.
spots you're ever gonna see. He's currently trapped, but they're shooting the smaller of the orbs, I believe. No, okay. I thought maybe they were going to allow him to try and jump over the corner, but instead, allowing him a safety net.
This comp is uncastable.
Guards
That's
all
actually
clear
true.
towards
That was a
B
good. That's a
side.
good clip.
Looks like it could be a fake though, trying to bring that spike. Oh, well, perhaps to the A side. There's 4 players here. If they get the picks, that may set their mind for them. In goes the grab, well, but Sugetsu's
Okay.
on the side. Unseen, the damage done. Sadik and Martin following with him.
Ooh, wonder if he heard the wall. That might help for the next round.
And they've got credits. It's not like they have to save, but it's 20 seconds on the clock. They have 5 opponents to take down. They're not close to ultimates themselves, and some of KCR, I think avoiding the fight might
Yeah, no, you take
be
that,
the
dude. That's
better
info.
call. I just
10
assumed that
seconds
because
left.
that's what it seemed they were going for, but
Player
Purpo,
standing.
well, he went forward for the
This
fight.
was nice though. K-Corp actually
I
like
guess maybe
playing
hoping to do a
further
little bit of
back,
extra damage here
using
and
the
there.
gravel
They're all
net more
credits
for
here.
once they're actually like
For
heavy
the
committing
side
through
of
the
GX,
chokes.
They have plenty to play with, but yeah, a big round from KC. I like the idea of having 4 players stacked up. You then have Elite on the other side of the map, basically holding the line.
Yeah,
ready for the
the
retake.
grav net
And then you've got
behind with the
Thrash
Astra
through
suck in
just
front
for
is good.
information. See if you can find anything, and if you catch the players in towards hookah, which is one of the spots you don't have cleared, you catch them all, and if you don't, and they do what they did,
What do we got? Last round.
basically
Ooh,
just
Cloud.
walk into
Oh,
a stack and you have to
everyone's
stand
talking
up.
about
I'm
ults
guessing
right
the
now.
idea was flash out of
Ults
the
and
smoke,
orbs.
the player that's close on the corner hides.
It's going to
They
be a
give you
6-person
that bit
duel
of
in
space,
showers.
They call for the rotate, you TP, and you're with your teammates on B, and instead, they dove out of that smoke.
This is
Fell flat in their face.
early stack up. 3 players here from the defense, 3 players here from the attack. This could
Oh
end the round
my
here, and
god,
now
bro,
Martin,
nice chance.
snappy aim.
GravNet into the mosh
This is
pit.
Cloud absolutely screwed. I thought for a second maybe
Okay,
he
now
was
we started to see some
it isn't
combos.
to be
We're getting some
already
combos out.
blocked by Mosh. And wow, OT is almost looking likely at this stage. A 2 versus 4, the way we kicked off this map.
I will say Martin hit some absolute shots when that fake smoke went down though.
Honestly, maybe not. I've seen this man get hit by a Rolling Thunder and simultaneously a stun and clutch a 1 versus 2. So, utility, everybody knows. Stuns are just cosmetic.
Yeah, they're
Jumping out of
probably
hookah,
getting
stun,
wrecked
flashed.
once they jump out because
Yeah,
of
it's
the
cosmetic.
deadlock sensor.
You want
All
to
right,
fight
well,
it?
I know.
Ooh,
Wow.
They're going to have someone claiming it is Elite. Won't have the chance to take that fight, though. The utility is canceled out. The players make it to site. Spike.
hold up.
Drop down. It's going to be picked up by Westside. 30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. Covering it.
KC have got all the angles, though. Spawn, elbow.
Where does
And
it
into
go?
a hookah. Good stun, but Tamazi can't capitalize. They need kills. Someone has to take a risk and deliver a little bit more than they should. Tamazi's been spotted. He's boxed in, stuck in a corner, scared of the utility coming, and he should be. The stun
Nice
is
util.
perfect. Westside surrounded.
Yeah,
It's
unlucky.
Aves. The
Ah
deal,
man,
the death
they got it
blow.
close, but honestly, you would probably
12
still give them
12.
the advantage,
Go,
maybe,
OT.
just because they didn't win a pistol.
It's been
But
a back and forth
Hiccup, at
game
least these
all the
were
way through. I've really
way
enjoyed
more
seeing
convincing.
Sort of like the tacticians
Actually,
on
like
either
just
side
waiting with the grav
make
net
these
for once they
adaptations, in
exec.
some cases going back to basics, in some cases having
Dude,
these
that,
set
those
plays.
shots are incredible.
And in a lot of cases, someone hitting some crazy headshots.
Dude, the
Martin
timing on
and
that was
Purpo
sick though.
definitely up
Both
there,
at the
but
same time.
This was gorgeous, just to make sure there was no escape from Cloud, and then just how safe they were in playing out these retakes, like making sure that there was no way you could get trapped out, and
Yeah.
because of solid utility usage.
It was die.
He does that a lot.
Okay, and Eng was waiting to take a timeout. As soon as they get to overtime, everyone gets a new timeout. So
At some stage, you
he
got to
was
get
waiting that whole time.
desensitized to the lunacy, you'd imagine. KC called a timeout. They said that they were out of them, but obviously we hop into OT, you get a little extra to work with. This is where they're going to need to reflect coming into their attacking side.
Both are limb games today. Yeah,
5K
both
on the
lower
board,
bracket limb
3
games.
away from any ultis. And what I mentioned starting this out was it seemed like there was a decent focus in their last game for Sadek on the attack, building up those orbs early, having the annihilation. But as we come into overtime, there's plenty of strong ultimates that they could decide to fight for instead.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time they were really looking at Thrash. I feel like it was mostly because Aves was getting so many kills.
That's the thing,
but
guys,
you didn't
22
have
and 13.
you had it online quite often. Well, you know,
Again, what's so
technically
heavy?
Martins get more
Yeah, it's because no one can
dying.
really fast commit once you hit the Vice Wall anyway.
I do think chances are Thrash is going to win you a round before Dimensional Drift.
Like everyone
does.
just jumps to
Although
trigger it,
Martin,
and then
They were
you
using it to
buys
kill
you
a
enough
wipe.
time to have a rotate.
I think they
The
could
weak
do
side
it
was
with
always
them,
B, I'm
but
pretty
the
sure.
point I'm
Yeah, that's
making is
good
I do think a lot of their executions were helped out by Thrash until GX adapted. I think that's the big thing is throughout this map, the way that we started to now, we've been looking at a very different game. And I think especially when GX go back
Ooh,
onto
we're
the
sending
attack,
this.
are they going to keep just going
We
for
are
those
sending this. What do we got?
fast-paced fights
Spawns
in
that
the
go
early
to
rounds?
spawn,
Because we've even
GravNet that
seen
goes towards
KC start
lamps,
to really match them.
Yoru TP
Now,
and
though,
fake
it is
clone
looking
so you
like
can
an
get over
ace
towards lamps as
execution
well.
Immediately in towards
Yeah,
that
and
side.
you take showers, you probably flash for them and then TP across.
Choosing another angle to fight on. He's
Hey,
gone
surely
into heavy
TP this.
traffic unknowingly. Elite
No,
quick
we've
on
already
the
nice trade.
trade through the smoke. And now the backside of A becomes the new target. Utility is faded. The Toxin's no longer there. The flash forces Cloud off the angle. They're dealing well with some of the fights that GX are looking for being denied early on. Plant coming through. Big fight. And it's
A nice
one on the
fight,
side of
man.
KC.
These two
Aves and
together.
Sadek maintaining control over lamps and leaving GX with
don't know if
no
Runner
foot
had
to
util
stand
for this,
on.
but-
It's only Runner. 1v4. And KC would need a serious stumble to give him the opportunities here.
Oops.
At least one. Catching Aves off guard. So little time, in fact. sitting on the board. So many opponents now down to just 2, though. It's looking more and more doable.
Okay.
And I did start
This is
to get a
K-Cup's
little
first go at it.
worried.
He
Let's
had
see.
taken, like, no damage after those first 2 fights. I was expected to look and him be on like 10 HP.
No, and he was
but
just ready to go.
somehow he was fine. Again, we talk about pace changes all the way through this match. This was another one coming out from the side of KC, because look at how GX been playing. A lot of it was B-side aggression with the hold on A. Let's just run it down A. If they do go aggressive or they try and stack up what was a B-side hold, where we saw the majority of executions, that's not going to work anymore. And I think that was why they took the pause. Let's do something different from the norm. Now we look at GX. Did they have the same sort of talk? Wait and see Purple again.
What?
In a round like this, you know, you look back, Purple was the very man just stood up on top of the van, taking a free kill with the operator.
That must have been a jump peak. I'm just looking on the map.
I'm not
where
sure it was.
Sugetsu
It
died.
had to be.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was just ADing it. Probably he was jump peeking it. Either way, his head's been ripped off. He's out of
Oh
the round.
boy,
and so
double
is
pick
Martin.
onto this one.
KC with a vacuum
Well, it looks
of
like we go
information
again.
and the
Unless
expectation
Sadek's
of an
got
A hit.
a
They pushed B long.
mental
They tried
round
to
in him.
fill in the blanks.
It's an off angle.
Instead, they have been left in the dirt. It's Sadek under pressure.
Good grab net.
Will at least buy himself a little bit of extra time.
Okay,
Good
isolates
fight
one.
onto Purple,
They hit
having fragmented
2
the rest of
more.
the squad. It's done well to give him a
Ooh,
second
he's done pretty
breath of
good,
life,
chat.
But there's
That's a
just
shame.
too many members coming through that choke point.
Kind of doable.
Chance for elite. He found a gap. He's done some damage.
The solo
Oh, he's
swing.
isolated. Cloud
Spike
goes
down
alone.
B.
And now it's down to
Damn, dude, how did they win that? Shout out to Sadak. Sadak absolutely owned that. Shout out to Elite as well. Holy. 3v5. Oh, I feel like K-Cup get a really good free lesson here. They could learn so much from watching how the Chinese teams play this comp. And the way they play it makes me think that they just came up with it on their own and they didn't see anything. So they haven't... They have...
What happened, bro? Bro, Hazem. Insane. I just saw kill. Go jump, Hazem. Bro, they use every ult, bro. This shit. And guess what? We still won. Bro, I didn't sign for this shit.